Archive of the Planet is Albert Kahn's romantic attempt to document the entire Earth. A venture so ambitious it seems insane. Yet, faced with the crisis of a rapidly changing world in the early 20th century, he sought to do just that. Between 1909 and 1931, Kahn sent teams of photographers to the Balkans and the Middle East, Asia and Scandinavia, North America and Brazil to capture the world as it was, its people, culture, architecture, nature, and way of life. Kahn's team explored the world for over 20 years and took 4,000 black and white photographs. "120 hours of video footage and over 72,000 autochromes. An early process of color photography. Together, these materials made up the Planet Archive, the essence of Kahn's humanistic endeavors throughout his life. He was forced to stop only after the stock market crash of 1929. The Great Depression wiped out his fortune. Kahn created his archive to record once and for all those aspects, practices, and modes of human activity whose fatal disappearance was only a matter of time. He worried about the effects of industrialization and the loss of diversity, both cultural and ecological, he predicted. The loss of history as such. This fear intensified with the outbreak of World War I. Which began 3 years after Kahn unveiled his plan for the archive. But knowledge of foreign cultures and different ways of life, Kahn believed, would foster respect and cooperation between peoples. And his team persevered despite the war and devastation. Kahn's project was above all an attempt to understand and create images of the multiplicity and complexity of human cultures as a means of promoting peace. Unlike more traditional archives, which are usually created ex post facto in response to a particular moment or event, the nature of Kahn's project was defined by its materials. He believed strongly in the transformative potential of travel and had faith in photography, like many of his contemporaries, including Walter Benjamin. He believed that the new medium could herald a revolution. Albert Kahn was born on March 3, 1860. The son of a Jewish cattle dealer in Marmoutier, an Alsatian town in northeastern France near the German border. As a boy, Kahn witnessed the Prussians defeat the French in 1871 and subsequently annex Alsace-Lorraine. In just over 6 months, he went from living in France to living in Prussia. Families like Kahn's faced the choice of being German or immigrating to France. Kahn chose to go to Paris. Once there, he Christianized his name and transformed himself into Albert. In Paris, Kahn proved himself to be a gifted financier, speculating heavily in the mining business. He rose quickly in the Goodchow Bank, becoming co-owner in 1892 at the age of 32. And founded his own bank 6 years later. His life was filled with travel to Egypt, Japan, Venezuela, Russia, South Africa, Vietnam, and learning. Philosopher Henri Bergson became his lifelong mentor. But Kahn was also a millionaire who was not comforted by his own financial success. A confirmed bachelor with no hunger for publicity, he sought a useful way to spend his fortune. While trying to become a philosopher, banker, philanthropist, citizen of the world. One of his first ventures was botanical. In 1895, he bought a large plot of land in Boulogne, where he hoped to grow a diverse garden. He filled it with flora representing the Middle East, the Mediterranean, and Europe, a botanical journey around the world. He also funded numerous scientific endeavors, laboratories, and fellowships for young researchers whose work would foster cross-cultural relations and dialogue. And he organized a weekly intellectual salon attended by guests such as Marie Curie, Louis Lumiere, and Herbert Wells. The technique of photography was becoming much more portable at the time, making it accessible to archaeologists, explorers, the bold and curious. Photography was no longer seen as an art form, but as an objective source of information, a method of scientific inquiry. And was being used as a new way to study and document the world. Living and non-living objects were placed in front of cameras to become specimens waiting to be categorized. The desire to record and categorize was widespread. With photographers documenting everything from the peaks of Yosemite and the pyramids at Giza to diseases, wars, and the human body.